Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to all of you to the 16th Annual General Meeting of the shareholders of the company. It is my privilege to address all of you as Chairman of Mahindra Logistics Limited. In compliance with the circulars and directions issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the company is conducting this Annual General Meeting through video conferencing. Thank you for joining us virtually today. I greatly appreciate you taking out the time to attend this AGM. Since the requisite quorum is present through video conferencing for the annual general meeting, as chairman, I call the meeting to order. Now let me introduce the directors of your company. Chairman of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee, Stakeholders Relationship Committee, and the Investment Committee, Mr. Darius Pandol, Independent Director. Chairman of the Audit Committee and CSR Committee, Mr. Ranu Vora, Independent Director. Chairperson of the Risk Management Committee, Ms. Avni Davda, Independent Director. Independent Director, Mr. Dhananjay Hungle. Independent Director, Ms. Malvika Sinha. Independent Director, Mr. Amit Haryani. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Rampraveen Swaminathan. Non-Executive, Non-Independent Director, Mr. Naveen Raju. All the directors of your meeting are present at this meeting through video conferencing. Mr. Kedar Raje, partner of Deloitte Haskins & Sell LLP, the statutory auditor, and the representatives of the secretarial auditor, Messrs. Makarand M. Joshi and Company, are also present at the meeting. The company secretary of the company is also participating in the meeting through video conferencing. I now request Ms. Ruchi Khanna, Company Secretary, to take us through the regulatory matters and general instructions pertaining to the AGM. Ruchi, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Anisha. Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to the 16th Annual General Meeting of Mahindra Logistics Limited. Shareholders may note that this Annual General Meeting is being held through video conferencing in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013 and circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. The facility for joining this meeting is made available through video conferencing for all the members. The company has also provided webcast facility to view the live proceedings of this annual general meeting on the company's website. Now, a small advisory for the shareholders. All members who have joined this meeting are by default placed on mute mode by the host to avoid any kind of disturbance from the background noise and to ensure smooth and seamless conduct of the meeting. Once name of the speaker shareholder is called out by the Managing Director and CEO, the speaker will be unmuted by the host to enable him or her or them to speak. Before speaking, the shareholder is requested to click on the video as well as the audio icon appearing on the screen. And if for some reason the shareholder is not able to join through video mode, he, she or they can still continue to speak in the audio mode. While speaking, we request shareholders to use earphones so that they are clearly audible and it would minimize any noise in the background. They are also requested to ensure that Wi-Fi is not connected to any other device, no other business applications are running, and proper lighting is available to have clarity in audio and video. If there is a connectivity issue at the speaker's end, the host will mute such speaker and the next speaker will be invited to speak upon. Since this annual general meeting is being held through video conferencing pursuant to the applicable circulars of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI, physical attendance of the members is dispensed with. Accordingly, the facility of proxies is not available at the meeting. The register of directors, key managerial personnel and their shareholding, the register of contracts and the memorandum and articles of association of the company and the certificate from the secretarial auditors of the company relating to implementation of the company's ESOP schemes as required to be kept at this annual general meeting are made available electronically for inspection for the members. Members seeking to inspect such documents during the AGM can send an email to cs.mll@mahindra.com, which is also mentioned in the AGM notice. The notice of the 16th annual general meeting, along with copies of the audited standalone financial statements and the audited consolidated financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2023, together with the board's and auditors' report thereon, have been emailed within statutory timelines to all those shareholders whose email addresses were registered with the company or Lincoln Time India Private Limited, the registrar and share transfer agent of the company, or their depository participants, and also to other persons who were entitled to receive the same. Hard copies were dispatched to shareholders who have also requested for the same. With the permission of the members, I am now taking the notice of the 16th annual general meeting of the company and the board's report as circulated to all the shareholders as read. As the statutory auditor's report on the audited financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2023 and the secretarial audit report for the financial year ended 31st March 2023 do not contain any qualifications, observations, comments or adverse remarks, the same are also taken as read. As per the Companies Act 2013 and the SEBI Listing Obligations and Disclosure Requirement Regulations 2015, the company has provided the facility of remote e-voting to shareholders to enable them to cast their votes electronically from remote locations. As per the timelines mentioned in the AGM notice, the remote e-voting facility was provided for 5 days, which concluded at 5 p.m. yesterday, 23rd July 2023. Further, in compliance with the rules on e-voting framed under the Companies Act 2013 and the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the e-voting at the AGM is also being conducted by the same e-voting system of NSDL which was used during remote e-voting. The shareholders who have not cast their votes through remote e-voting process and are otherwise not debarred from doing so shall be eligible to vote through this e-voting system at the AGM. Once the chairman orders commencement of e-voting, the vote tab on the screen will be activated to enable such shareholders to cast their votes. They can also cast their votes by clicking on the vote tab. Shareholders may note that there will be no voting by show of hands. The results of e-voting, along with the scrutinizer's report, shall be communicated to BSE and NSE, where equity shares of the company are listed, and will also be placed on the company's website, the website of NSDL, the registered and corporate office address of the company within prescribed timelines from conclusion of this meeting. Mr. P.N. Parekh, or failing him Mr. Mitesh Dabliwala, or failing him Ms. Sarvaris Shah, practicing company secretaries, have been appointed as scrutinizer to scrutinize the e-voting process in a fair and transparent manner. Now let's move to the agenda of this meeting. There are 4 ordinary business agendas for approval of the shareholders today, which are 1. Adoption of the audited standalone financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2023 and the reports of the Board of Directors and the statutory auditors thereon to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 2. Adoption of the audited consolidated financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2023 and the report of the statutory auditors thereon to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 3. Declaration of final dividend at a rate of Rs 2.50 per equity share of face value of Rs 10 each for the financial year ended 31st March 2023 to be passed as an ordinary resolution. Item number 4. Reappointment of Mr. Naveen Raju Kolaikil as non-executive director liable to retire by rotation to be passed as an ordinary resolution. The objectives and implications of the resolutions proposed at the AGM are already set out in the notice and for sake of brevity are not being repeated again. In case members wish to seek any further clarifications, they may raise it at the question and answer session. I will now take you through the proceedings of this AGM. The chairman will address the members. Then, in accordance with the provisions of Section 108 of the Companies Act 2013, read with rules made thereunder, and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs circulars, he will order e-voting to be conducted for every business matter to be transacted at this AGM as set forth in the notice. This will be followed by a question and answer session by the Managing Director and CEO. The company has received requests from some shareholders to register them as speakers at the meeting. Accordingly, the floor will be open for these members to ask questions and express their views. The moderator will facilitate this session once the Managing Director and CEO opens the floor for questions and answers. Those shareholders who have not registered as speakers but still desire to raise any questions may use the chat box provided on the screen. With this, I now request the Chairman to kindly address the shareholders.
Thank you, Ruchi. Dear members, the past year has seen the COVID-19 pandemic receding and the emergence of new economic and geopolitical dynamics. Post the pandemic, all businesses and organizations have placed a greater focus on resilience, innovation, and agility. Governments, businesses, and individuals alike have sharpened their focus on healthcare, sustainability, and equality. Digitization and technology have continued to pervade our society, increasingly shaping the way we think. Even as the world economy gained a sense of normalcy, new challenges emerged, including a slowdown in the economies of the United States and Europe, and heightened political tensions, especially in Europe with the Russia-Ukraine conflict, and trade tensions in other regions resulted in continuing volatility. The Indian economy continues to demonstrate resilience and adaptability, propelling itself towards a path of recovery and growth. As the country continues to evolve and grow, its resilience remains a driving force that propels it forward. Today, as the world's fifth largest economy, we continue to march towards an aspiration of a GDP of $5 trillion. Through the year, easing of supply chain constraints helped drive recovery in many sectors, especially in automotive and discrete manufacturing. This has enabled manufacturers to ramp up production, meet consumer demand, and reduce delivery lead times. Demand in almost all product categories for mid and high-end products remained very strong through the year. In many ways, our country is witnessing an unprecedented expansion in infrastructure. Substantial investments have been made in sectors such as transportation, energy, telecommunications, and urban development, amongst others. There has been a significant shift in areas of climate change and decarbonization, with substantial public sector and government investments in this area, a trend that is likely to continue and accelerate. Overall, the long-term prospects of our economy remain very robust. While there have been some headwinds with softer consumer demand in the latter half of the year, I'm confident that these are short-term factors. In the backdrop of these long-term growth trends, the logistics sector has become more important than ever. The launch of the National Logistics Policy in September 2022 marks a significant milestone in the development of the logistics sector. The policy is expected to provide a comprehensive framework and strategic direction to unlock the potential of the logistics industry in the country. The National Logistics Policy represents an integrated and collaborative framework which will drive our nation towards a long-term goal of reduction in logistics costs to 8 to 10% of GDP. Combined with the introduction of decarbonization programs, we firmly believe this is an achievable target. The launch of the Universal Logistics Interface Platform, ULIP, and the Open Network for Digital Commerce, ONDC, represents a significant development in the digital infrastructure of logistics. These initiatives are set to bring about a transformative change in how logistics operations are conducted and managed, leading to greater efficiency, transparency, and competitiveness in the industry. Under the Gati Shakti initiative, there has been a continued focus on the growth and development of integrated infrastructure to the logistics sector. By streamlining processes, improving infrastructure, and promoting efficiency, logistics costs are likely to decrease, making the movement of goods more affordable and competitive. The reforms in the logistics sector in India have the potential to drive down costs, foster the growth of formalized players, and support the reduction of logistics costs to 8 to 10% of GDP. Over the past few years, your company has been driven by a vision to create integrated, customized logistics and mobility solutions through technology, people, and process capabilities. At the core of this is our confidence and belief in the India story. The logistics needs of the modern world require a multitude of different services, and competitiveness will be determined by the productivity across the supply chain by integrating these services for an enhanced level of customer offerings and a lower cost of ownership. I'm pleased to share that we have continued to stay on course our strategy that we launched a few years ago, and we continue to make good progress. Our 3PL business drives a focus on integrated solutions and technology to create value. During the year, we continue to expand our warehousing network and solutions, comprising over 20% of our annual 3PL revenues. We launched several new logistics programs for spares, fulfillment, and expanded offerings for end markets such as telecom. The 3PL business was also supported by the strong recovery in the auto sector. For fiscal 22-23, the 3PL business grew 26% to 4,007 crores. The cross-border logistics business was impacted by an industry-wide correction in pricing. After 18 months of significant price increases, the last year saw a sharp correction of up to 80%. While we saw a decline in revenues, we managed to offset the impact of these price reductions through volume growth. We've extended connectivity to 55 core trade lanes and support over 200 locations. We also launched air charter services based in the UAE. Our long-term growth rate over the past 3 to 4 years remains positive, and we are excited by the segment's potential. The last mile delivery business has experienced strong organic growth with a year-on-year growth of 12%. Despite challenges faced in the market, we have focused on improving profitability in its last mile business, and growth was impacted to some extent by this. We also witnessed the continued expansion of EDEL, our electric last mile delivery service. As India's largest player in this space, Mahindra Logistics operates over 1,500 electric vehicles and 70 charging stations across 19 cities, with integrated tech stacks for last mile delivery operations. The B2B segment has been growing significantly in Express and is an area of strategic focus for us. In fiscal 22-23, our B2B Express demonstrated consistent growth in network expansion, which was further strengthened by strategic acquisitions in late Q3 2023. Year-on-year revenues for the B2B business grew by 85%, for a total revenue of 295 crores in fiscal 22-23. The mobility business expanded with the acquisition of Meru. We have seen the impact of COVID-19 continuing on this business. With lower than anticipated return to office levels, we saw a slow recovery, and the business continued to lag its historical growth or historical high in fiscal 2018-19. We continue to see higher rate of return to office, and we estimate that the business will show robust growth in the current financial year. For the past full year, our combined mobility businesses earned revenues of rupees 260 crores, up 29%. The new businesses in our portfolio continue to scale up, contributing approximately 1,000 crores of combined revenue in fiscal 22-23, up 3.5x from 3 years ago. Our commitment to accelerating growth and driving scale led us to complete 3 strategic acquisitions or investments in fiscal 22-23. These acquisitions align with our strategic objective of growing new segments, which enable providing customers with integrated solutions and building a technologically capable portfolio. The Meru acquisition holds a prospect for significant synergies. I am pleased to note that post the acquisition, we have driven synergies and cost optimization, due to which the losses of the combined mobility business have reduced significantly. MLL Mobility's combined losses were 9.6 crores, combined with standalone losses of Meru, which was 22 crores in fiscal 21-22. The strategic investment in ZipZap Logistics Wizard has expanded our network presence significantly, and technology capabilities have strengthened the last mile business's cost of operations. During the current financial year, we aim to complete a second tranche of investment, making the company the majority shareholder of ZipZap. We've also completed the acquisition of the Rivigo business in Q3 of fiscal 22-23. I am pleased to share that the integration is proceeding. Our team has an aggressive plan to drive network and cost optimizations. The plan remains largely on track. These acquisitions have helped strengthen our network, build a more integrated portfolio and tech capabilities. While we are still in the investment phase of these businesses, we expect them to drive a larger share of future growth of revenue and earnings. A significant share of management effort has been dedicated to building the technology stacks for the company. We began a process to migrate to SAP HANA over 3.5 years ago, and we have completed implementation of the same in MLL and subsidiaries, including our acquisitions. Our core platforms for HR and procurement have also been communized across all entities. Business layer applications are being developed through the Logi1 ecosystem, which provides a range of integrated applications for transport management, warehouse management, cross-border logistics, express, EV fleet management, and fulfillment. The Logi1 ecosystem will be fully implemented in fiscal 23-24 and will provide customers the ability to visualize, orchestrate, and optimize all legs of the supply chain and implementation of continuous improvements. It leverages advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, data analytics, and cloud computing to enhance efficiency, visibility, and control across the supply chain. Your company continues to operate the premier startup incubator for the logistics sector, Catapult. The third edition of our program this year attracted an impressive pool of 167 startups from the supply chain and mobility sector. These select cohorts have now embarked on an exciting journey, collaborating closely with us on real-world use cases. Together, we are working towards developing cutting-edge solutions that are tailored to meet the demands of the market. People remain at the core of our business. During the year, the company continued to augment its capabilities around learning and development. In addition to various online programs, we launched Flex with a specific focus on mid-level management development. Overall training hours continued to grow across all our businesses and have been the key to continuing service delivery and launching new service lines. Our focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility remains a key priority. In addition to gender diversity, we have strengthened our focus on veteran talent, PWD, and members from the LGBTQIA plus community. Today, we have a large representation of diversity in leadership levels, operations, and sales. I'm also pleased to share that your company has successfully obtained certification from the Great Place to Work once again. Our vision is to become net zero by 2040. We fully realize that we must act today. To drive this change, to champion green logistics, and to take proactive steps to reduce our carbon footprint. To achieve this, we have initiated several impactful measures and joined the science-based targets initiatives to establish clear metrics and goals. By transitioning to EVs, we aim to significantly reduce emissions and contribute to a cleaner and greener transportation ecosystem. As part of this effort, we are investing in supporting infrastructure such as charging stations, parking lots, and battery swapping stations. Our EV cargo and PV fleet has now completed over 25 million green kilometers and delivered over 8 million packages. In addition to our EV initiatives, we're actively investing in making our warehousing facilities energy efficient and sustainable. Our goal is to obtain IGBC Platinum and LEED certification for all our multi-client large format warehouses. By adopting renewable energy sources and implementing energy-saving measures, we aim to minimize our environmental impact while maintaining operational efficiency. These programs are accompanied by a focus on circularity and energy conservation practices. During fiscal 22-23, our standalone revenues grew 23% from 3,631 crore to 4,459 crore. The company was focused actively on cost optimization and margin improvement. Profit after tax grew by 164% from 24 crore to 65 crores. Consolidated revenues of your company grew by 24%, from 4,141 crores to 5,128 crores. Profit after tax on a consolidated basis grew from 15 crores to 25 crores. As we scale up the new acquisitions, we remain confident that we will be able to grow revenue and earnings through a cost optimization, synergy, and by providing a greater portfolio of integrated logistics to our customers. Going forward, the company will continue to maintain a strategic focus on driving scale and on delivering a compelling value proposition to our customers. We remain committed to cost management, to continuous improvement, to innovation, and to customer centricity as we navigate the dynamic and evolving landscape of the logistics industry. A key focus is on expanding margins across the businesses. Our focus is on 4 levers: growing the 3PL business by increasing the share of solutions and driving cost management, scaling up new businesses to reduce the losses and to scale up margins, driving operational excellence across all segments through enhanced operational synergies, and continuing to accelerate the turnaround of the mobility business. We are committed to driving future-ready, value-accretive businesses that contribute to creating a more equal world. The company has a clear strategy supported by the strengths and values of the Mahindra Group. Logistics remains a key growth area and has huge long-term opportunities. We will be agile, bold, and collaborative in building this future. The steps we are taking today are focused on short-term and long-term value creation to customer-led value creation. As I bring this message to a close, I would like to pay a heartfelt tribute to Mr. Keshav Mahindra. The loss we have suffered with his passing cannot be measured, but we continue to draw inspiration from his remarkable example and take pride in the illustrious leadership that continues to guide the Mahindra Group. I would also like to take this moment to express my sincere appreciation to our longest serving director, Mr. Ajay Mehta, who retired in March 2023, this year, upon completion of his 10 years as non-executive director. And Mr. Amit Sinha, who stepped down upon transitioning to his new role within the group. Mr. Ajay Mehta was elected as chairman of the audit committee and was a member of the nomination and remuneration committee and the stakeholders relationship committee. Both Mr. Ajay Mehta and Mr. Amit Sinha have added tremendous value to your company, and we have greatly benefited from their invaluable contributions. I would like to place on record the board's deepest gratitude for their exceptional guidance and support, and on behalf of all of us, wish them success, good health, and the very best for the future. My appreciation also extends to our other directors of the board for their continued support and engagement. And last but not the least, thank you to all of you for your continued support to the company. I remain confident that we will collectively continue to rise. Now let me come back to the AGM proceedings. As mentioned by Ms. Ruchi Khanna, Company Secretary, shareholders can share their questions and comments arising from the agenda of the AGM in the chat box provided on the screen. The company has indeed made all efforts feasible under the circumstances to enable members to participate and vote on the items being considered in the meeting. Before I open the floor for questions by members, I order for commencement of e-voting on each item of the agenda. Those shareholders who do not wish to participate in the discussion or question and answer session relating to the resolutions, or do not seek any clarifications, or do not want to wait till the question and answer session is over, can cast their votes. Kindly note that those of you who have already cast your votes on the remote e-voting platform shall not be permitted to cast them again. Votes once cast cannot be subsequently changed. I now hand over the proceedings to Mr. Ramprabeen Swaminathan to address the question and answer session. Over to you, Ram.
Thank you, Dr. Adisha. A hearty welcome once again to all the members. Moving on to the Q&A, I will invite the shareholders who have pre-registered as speakers with the company one by one. Before I call on those who wish to speak on the proposed resolutions, I request you to be brief and avoid